So hi friends, in this video, short video that I can actually do right now, I'm discussing few of the doubts that you have given to me, and the doubt is regarding the Pathlight test that we had yesterday. Now this video will not be a very long video for the obvious reason that I can see that I'm in hospital right now. So I will be talking about the basic mistakes that I could see you have done in that test. Okay, so let's begin. I don't think any one of you have done a mistake in the question 1. Basically in question 1 it is not this focal adhesion molecule which binds to this. Actually the zonula occludens and desmosome, they never ever interact with each other. Okay. Now question 2, yes, this is a few doubt many of you have asked to me on this. So in question 2, please understand that I told you A and B, both of them can be the right answer. But why did I take question option A as a better answer? Because that uterus in pregnancy has only hypertrophy mainly. Okay, this is mainly hypertrophy, but more than the hyperplasia. But in this condition, the trophy component is equal to the hyperplasia component, and therefore according to me and according to Robbins, the better answer is A. Okay. Yes. Now about question number 3. Now I hope you all got this, that this A area is basically, the A area is squamous epithelium and this is the columnar epithelium. Okay. So obviously the not true about this condition will be the option D, because I told you very clearly in the note that is not because of increase in pH, it is because of decrease in pH. Okay. Question 4, I am very sure that all of you have done it correct. These cells here, as you see here, these are all the Barrett esophagus because they show the goblet cells. Okay, these show the goblet cells. Question 5, initially this question did not have the image, but later on when it was put, please understand that these are the blebs here. Okay, this is the bleb, and because it's a bleb here, it basically is what? This basically refers to this whole condition here, it refers to the blebs, and therefore the better answer is reversible cell injury. Okay, it's a reversible cell injury. Yes, question number 6, many of you have done the mistake here. So the question is not a finding of reversible injury. Now understand a point that large amorphous density is a finding of irreversible injury, and because you saw this question, the question 7 became a confusion to many of you. In question 7, which is telling you the ultra-structural finding of irreversible injury, please understand that it is B and C which is both as the answer. So why is B a better answer than C? The reason is very simple, because large flocculent density will always be an example of irreversible. Okay, mild figure is seen in reversible and irreversible, both of them. So obviously when you do to choose a better answer, the answer should be B and not the C. 8, I have not got any doubts on this. The answer is C. Cell membrane, it is the apoptotic body which has a cell membrane with organelles with or without nuclear fragments. 9th also, I don't think any of you have done a mistake. BIM, BID, BAD, these are the BH3 only proteins, and which are basically the apoptotic sensors. Okay, these are apoptotic sensor molecule. Okay. Now question 10, many of you have done a mistake. Now when you are seeing TB is caseous, and you say caseous is a type of coagulative more than liquefactive. Therefore this I will not take as the answer. But understand a point, sarcoidosis never shows necrosis, no necrosis. So there should be no doubt the answer is C. B and D is definitely a coagulative necrosis. There is no doubt about it. Now question 11, no one of you have done a mistake here. Now this is definitely a area which is showing you pink color and no outline, and therefore the question is straightforward. It is basically a liquefactive necrosis. Question 12, this question is regarding a vessel. So this is a lumen of the vessel. Okay, and this is a pink area. So this pink area refers to what? It refers to fibrinoid necrosis. Okay, and if you look at the notes very clearly, I have told you the answer should be D. Answer should be D. Question 13. This is a very big doubt that many of you have asked me also. Please understand, the question is asking about inflammatory response. Now obviously, had it been a PGI question, the answer would have been A plus B plus C. No doubt about this. But if you want to choose the best answer, the best, see why I am choosing necrosis here is because necrosis will always show you inflammation. Okay, pyroptosis will also show you. But when you look at these questions asked by AIIMS or NEET, you have to choose the best answer. Pyroptosis will have fever and will have inflammation. Necroptosis will ultimately end with necrosis, agreed. But started with apoptosis, the component of inflammation will be less. But necrosis will always show you this. The best answer therefore is necrosis. Okay. So this was a straightaway question. Question 14. This is a step showing you this is the transmigration. The answer therefore should be PCAM molecule. Okay. 15. This question was discussed by me also by the example of, I hope you remember, it was actually the New York in the spring. Okay. So I told you the why is the option B wrong? Because I told you that H2O2 MPO halide is not the most effective radical scavenger. It is not at all a scavenger. It is radical producer. Many of you have still marked it D, not at all, because Fenton is definitely a reversible reaction. Guys, if you have done this mistake, do not again do this. New York in the spring will always be one time, not twice and thrice. 16 is a straight away question. It's talking about negative aqueous reactant, therefore the answer is albumin. Okay. 17, many of you have asked me a doubt. So I think you have clearly excluded the option A, B. So you are asking me, sir, why is observation not affected? Because you see in Bruton's X-linked A gammaglobulinemia, if there is no antibody, there should not be any IgG. And IgG is an opsonin. So definitely in Bruton's, observation is definitely affected. It is definitely affected and therefore is the answer. It definitely is the answer. You can also come out to the answer by excluding the other options. Okay. Question 18. So this is a straight question, and as you can see, it's very clearly showing you this horseshoe shaped nuclei. Very clearly showing you this. Okay. And these are lymphocytes. And horseshoe shaped nuclei, I hope you remember, it is Langerhans giant cell. And where do you see Langerhans giant cell? The answer is tubercular granuloma. There should not be any doubt about it. See, question number 19, many of you have done it correctly only. So this is basically the oxygen or the respiratory burst, this activity, and therefore it is straight away a case of NADPH oxidase. Okay, the full name of this is NADPH oxidase, also called as respiratory or the oxygen burst. Now, which of them is basically a cell-derived chemical mediator and is not preformed? This is what is important, not preformed. So when you talk about a not preformed mediator, the answer straight away is arachidonic acid metabolite. And a very good example of that is leukotrienes, which is the answer here. Okay. Question 21, with the following is an opsonin. Okay, the question is now asking you which of the following is an opsonin. So in the opsonin, remember the answer was very simple. It is C3b, C4b, C5b are the correct answers. Okay. Question 22. So this is about the chronic granulomatous disease, and I hope you remember that is not due to staphylococcal. It is staphylococcal, not staphylococcal. And NBT is definitely used for screening the disease. Therefore, the answer is D. Question 22. This definitely refers to a keloid. So keloid basically is something which is formed after 2 months, and therefore the answer is clearly A. Okay, the answer is A. So 24, many of you have asked this doubt. So at the end of 2 weeks, but sir, you have written it at the end of 1 week. So if you are asking at the end of 1 week, it was 10%, right? At the end of first month, it was 30% bone strength. You cannot choose 1%, you cannot choose 50%. The next best answer definitely is 10%. Try to get at the right answer. Okay. Question 25, obviously this was a very straightaway question, and NK cells kills those cells which are not able to express MHC1, because I told you MHC1 will activate the inhibitory receptors of the NK cells. Okay. Question 26, so this is a straightaway question that the Toll-like receptors, they definitely activate the NF-kappa B, which recruits the cytokines. It's a straightaway question. 27, some of you have done a mistake here. So it is again the TLR. I gave a simple mnemonic, TLR type 2 for a 2-letter word TB. Remember? And remember, endotoxin comes from gram negative. and for gram negative it was TLR type 4. So definitely the answer is A. It is not true. Okay, the question was except, remember, which you're not seeing here. Therefore the answer is A. The answer is A here. 28 is a straight away question. Most potent, the answer is mature dendritic cells. Okay. 29, so about MHC2 is the question. Obviously MHC2 is not involved in innate immunity. Okay, so it is not involved in innate immunity, it is adaptive immunity. It is not cytotoxic T cells, it is helper T cells, TH cells are involved, and not in nuclear cells, it is on APCs. The best answer is D. About question 30, none of you have done a mistake. This is a straight away question. Mast cells in the type 1 hypersensitivity reaction. Okay. 31 is straight away a example of a generalized edema, flushing, which tells you about after bee sting. So definitely it is a type 1 hypersensitivity. The answer should be IgE mediated disease. Question 32, it is a TH1 type of cells, and I hope it is, remember, TH1 is for interferon gamma. Had the question been TH2, it would have been interleukin 4 and 5, and IL-6 doesn't have a straight away role, but IL-6, I will tell you later on, it activates the plasma cells. Okay, this activates the plasma cell. This we'll discuss later on in hematology. Question 33 about TH17 cells, guys. TH17 cells activates the neutrophils. There's no doubt about it, and the answer is very straightforward. It is answer is C. Some of you have made this question wrong. So sir, asking me, sir, what is this? It basically is an apple green birefringence. Okay, it's an apple green birefringence with a Congo red staining. And I hope you all remember this is seen in amyloid. And if you look at the option A, C and D, they definitely don't show amyloid. What shows amyloid is multiple myeloma, and this shows AL, which is a primary amyloid. Okay, this again we'll discuss in hematology, but this answer would have been simple by exclusion. It is multiple myeloma. Okay, this was a straight away question. Graft rejection, I told you both MHC1 and MHC2 is involved. 36 is again a simple question, hyperacute within 12 hours. None of you have done a mistake here. Yeah, this question some of you have done a mistake asking me, sir, if it is about the GVHD, okay, the question is about GVHD. So I told you GVHD will occur when the host is immunocompetent, right? And the recipient is immunosuppressed. So this is the basic concept you should have about GVHD. So occurs when the host is immunocompromised. Who is the host? Recipient. Okay, this is true. Occurs when donor cells are immunocompromised. It cannot happen, right? Because donor cells are immunocompetent. Okay, it is also called as Raynaud's disease, no doubt about it, and is seen in the hematopoietic stem cell transplantation. And therefore I gave you an example, the real-time example of a child who is suffering from acute leukemia. The correct answer is B here. Okay, the answer is B here. 38 is a straight away question. I told you 3 of them are the mostly involved. It is liver, GIT and the skin. Therefore the answer is straight away adrenal glands. It is adrenal glands. Again a straight question is showing you only one X and no Y. It is 45XO, 45XO, and there was straight away the answer is Turner's syndrome. Okay. This question is basically methylation and acetylation. I told you they will be doing without changing the content of the gene, and therefore it is called as epigenetics. Remember, they are inheritable changes in epigenetics. Inheritable changes in the epigenetic. Question 41 is one of the most frequently asked doubt that I have encountered in the last 2 days. The question is asking about disomy. And if you remember my message on the group, I told you that disomy, please understand, many of you are getting just seeing the question maternal. What I'm not seeing is the word disomy written here. Remember, if it is a question is deletion or silencing, deletion of silencing of maternal, then the answer is Angelman syndrome. If the question is deletion or silencing of the paternal, it is Prader-Willi syndrome. But suppose the question is disomy, guys, then the entire thing becomes opposite. If it is paternal, it is the Angelman, and if it is maternal disomy, it then becomes the Prader-Willi syndrome. It becomes Prader-Willi syndrome. So again, I want to point out here, deletion and silencing is opposite from disomy. Basically, disomy is a condition where both the chromosomes are derived from the same parent. Okay, it is just like suppose both the parents are coming from paternal. So who will not come? Maternal. So if maternal is not coming, it is almost like maternal deletion. Got the point? And therefore the question is about the opposite thing. Suppose it is maternal disomy. That means both chromosomes have come from mother who has not come father. It is almost like paternal deletion, and hence the answer is Prader-Willi syndrome. Okay? Okay. Question number 42. Okay, this is a straightaway question. It is not done in monocyte. Most of the reason being monocyte is a slow dividing cells, and therefore the answer is monocytes. About mitochondrial DNA, Duchenne's is basically the X-linked recessive disease, and this has been seen in the notes that I have shared with you on the group also. The answer is D. This is basically the image based on the Tyrion-Lannister, and if you see the very good example of tuberous sclerosis or achondroplasia, this may happen with germline mosaicism. Choristoma is a heteropic rest of tissue. That means something which is not found in that tissue. It is a, I hope you remember, normal tissue at an abnormal site. Lack of differentiation, no one of you done a mistake here. It is anaplasia. 47 is a time-taking question, time-consuming question. Aneuploidy because of meiosis, and please understand that mosaicism occurs after not meiosis. Mosaicism occurs after, guys, mitosis. The answer is D. 48, true regarding oncogenes are all except. So remember, oncogenes will never require multiple growth factors. Multiple growth factors will be straightaway required for proto-oncogenes. Oncogenes are what? Oncogenes basically are self-sufficient. Okay, and therefore the first hallmark, remember, stellium, self-sufficiency growth signal is about the oncogenes. The answer is D. Many of you have done a mistake on question number 49. She is asking you, how does a p53 it exerts its tumor suppressor activity except. Now tell me, a p53 has to cause tumor suppression activity. Okay, so definitely it should cause apoptosis, it should cause repair, no doubt about it. Now the question is undoubtedly between A and B. To cause a tumor suppression activity, remember, a p53 should basically activate p21, and p21 is a cyclin dependent kinase inhibitor. Okay, p21 is a cyclin dependent kinase inhibitor. It is basically activating it. Okay, it does not down regulate it. So the option B is wrong, and therefore is the answer. About option A, a p53 definitely regulates it, and if it is basically activating that telomerase activity, if it is acting telomerase, it will increase telomere length, and therefore it will not cause tumor suppression. It can cause a mutation or a tumor. It causes a mutation of a tumor. The answer is both A and B, no doubt about it. Okay, the answer is both A and B. If you want to choose one of them, a better answer is B, because it is a direct action. It's a direct action of the p53. This was basically a question asked in AIIMS November 18 last year. It is very confusing, and they were given this question. The answer should be A and B. I completely agree. But if you choose one of them, a better answer is B, because it's a direct action of p53 there. The following is about the governor. The straightaway question, the answer is RBG. No discussion on this. Now this is a question that has confused many of you. Retinoblastoma, true except. I hope the option A is definitely true, no doubt about it. Deletion of both the RB gene, yes. If you remember, small r is the condition in which can cause a tumor. Now I told you the second mutation, it was capital R, it became heterozygous, and it then became the homozygous form. So what happened? This is called as loss of heterozygosity. Remember? Now point is that this second mutation occurs only, this second mutation, it occurs only in the retinal cells. Only in retinal cells, not all the cells. Because it occurs only in retinal cells, the person still has a heterozygous inheritance. This is still heterozygous inheritance. Please understand that entire zygote is still in the heterozygous form, and therefore it is autosomal dominant. Even though disease occurs when both the genes have got mutated, still it is autosomal dominant. And if you don't know this theory, it is well and good, because the question is very simple. It's not 13P, it's definitely 13Q. The answer straight away is D. So sometimes you get an answer by excluding the fact, not including the answers. Okay. 52. Again, many of you got confused. Still understand that RB gene action is on G1S more than G2M. So if RB gene phosphorylation is defective, that means if RB gene is not phosphorylating, I hope remember that if RB gene is not phosphorylating, remember it's defective. So what will happen? The cell cycle will stop at G1S more than G2M, because cyclins are not activated, and therefore G1S more than G2M. The answer is cell cycle stop at G1. If the option would have been PGI question, the answer would have been A and B, but here I'll choose B more than A, and the reason I told you here because. 53. Because it is about the actually pap smear, the answer is very simple. It should be 95% ethanol. Tumor lysis syndrome, a straightaway question. It is hypercalcemia. I'll not discuss it any further. 55. Many of you got confused by looking at the option non-specific esterase. Remember, it is neuron specific esterase. It is also called as CD56, and therefore you got confused. The answer is D. Okay, non-specific esterase. This is a marker for monocytes. Okay, remember it's not neuron specific. Neuron specific is also called as CD56. Now cancer calculation, not true. Not true. Remember, you will always find inflammation because of TNF alpha action. So answer is straight away C. 57. Carbohydrate marker for recurrent breast cancer is 15.3. Please look at the tumor marker notes I have shared with you on the group as well as on the email. So Wilms tumor is basically a mixed tumor. So mixed tumor means it will be epithelial plus mesenchymal, right? So epithelial will have cytokeratin, mesenchymal will have vimentin and desmin. TTF1, I'll tell you in the systemic pathology, it's a marker for adenocarcinoma of the lung, and therefore is the answer. But still you could have solved this question by looking at these three, and remember Wilms tumor is a mixed tumor. Okay, it's a mixed tumor. Question 59. If you look at this question 59, basically question 59, it is senile amyloidosis. It is not beta 2 microglobulin. Senile amyloidosis is basically the TTR. Okay, transthyretin. Transthyretin is the marker for senile amyloidosis. Question 60. This was actually the true except should have been there, which was a wrong by from my side, and the answer, if it is true, then A, B, C are true. A plus B plus C are true. But remember, it is not anaerobic, it is aerobic glycolysis. Okay, it is about the aerobic. It is aerobic glycolysis. This was a discussion, friends, that I actually wanted to have with you, and it's about the enormous amount of requests I got. Now, basically, please understand that the test you have given, what you should do now is just try to see the mistakes you have done and make sure that these mistakes do not happen again. Thank you, and best wishes for staying with me.